Welcome to Practice English Conversations. Are you ready to practice your English and become more fluent? Let's get started.
Hi, Victor. I'm so excited to speak with you today. I've heard that you're an airline pilot and that you've just returned from a long international flight. When did you first dream of flying?
Hi, Samantha. Yes, I just got back from a flight across several continents. I've always loved airplanes. I remember when I was 3 years old, my parents took me on a short flight, and I was fascinated by the view from the window. I collected toy airplanes ever since then.
That's amazing. So, you knew at a very early age that you wanted to fly. What happened next? Did you always want to be a pilot?
Well, not exactly at first. When I was 8, we moved to a town near an airport. Our house was very close to the runway. Every day, I would watch planes take off and land. It was noisy, but I loved it. That's when I really decided that I wanted to become a pilot one day.
It must have been exciting to see so many planes in action. How did your family feel about that?
My mother was a little worried because the noise bothered her, but my father supported my dream. They said that I should follow my passion. After a few years, when I was 12, we moved to a quiet suburb. I missed watching the planes, but I continued to study and learn more about aviation on my own.
That sounds like a big change for you. So, when did you actually start flying lessons?
I started taking flying lessons on my 17th birthday. My father enrolled me in a local flight school. I remember my first lesson vividly. I was both nervous and excited. The instructor was very kind. I spent a lot of time practicing on simulators and eventually in a small training plane.
Wow, that must have been an incredible experience. Did you have to work hard to pay for your lessons?
Yes, I did. At first, my parents helped me with the cost, which was around $1,500 for the initial training. But as I got older, I worked part-time at a small cafe to earn extra money. I used my earnings to pay for more flying lessons. I saved up enough by the time I finished high school to start working towards my pilot's license.
That shows real dedication. So, after high school, how did you begin your career in aviation?
After finishing high school, I enrolled in a university program for aviation management while taking additional flying lessons. I worked part-time as a flight instructor on weekends. By the time I graduated, I had already earned my private pilot's license and some commercial endorsements.
That's impressive, Victor. What was your first job as a pilot?
My first job was flying small private planes for local businesses. I was responsible for transporting executives between cities. That experience taught me a lot about punctuality and customer service. After a year, I moved to a larger airline where I flew regional jets across the country.
So, you started with private planes and then moved to an airline. How did that transition happen?
I was very lucky. The airline I joined had a training program for new pilots. I worked hard, and after 2 years, I was promoted to pilot for larger jet planes. My duties included long-haul flights and international routes. I've now been flying international routes for about 5 years.
That's fantastic. Have you ever flown around the world?
Yes, I have. About 2 years ago, I embarked on a flight that covered North America, Europe, and Asia. I had the opportunity to land in small airports in rural areas as well as major cities. It was a wonderful experience because I got to see diverse cultures and landscapes up close.
That must have been life-changing. What did you enjoy the most about that flight around the world?
I loved the freedom it gave me. Flying in a smaller plane allowed me to land at airports that are not often visited by big airlines. I could interact with local people and experience their culture directly. I visited quaint towns in Europe, vibrant cities in Asia, and even some remote areas in North America. It broadened my horizon a lot.
It sounds like an unforgettable adventure. But I'm also curious. Did you ever have a difficult or scary moment during one of your flights?
Yes, there was one experience that I will never forget. While I was flying over South America, I encountered a severe thunderstorm. The turbulence was very strong, and I had to make an emergency landing at a small rural airport. The weather was so bad that the airport staff couldn't refuel the plane immediately. I ended up waiting for almost 2 weeks until the fuel arrived. It was stressful, but the local people were very kind and welcoming. They helped me and made sure I was comfortable until I could continue my journey.
Wow, that sounds very challenging. It must have been scary to be in that situation.
It was definitely one of the most challenging moments of my career. However, it taught me a lot about patience, problem solving, and the kindness of strangers. I realized that even when things go wrong, you can find support in unexpected places.
That's a very positive way to look at it. Do you think that experience changed you as a pilot?
Absolutely, Samantha. It made me more cautious and prepared for emergencies. I learned to trust my training and to stay calm under pressure. It also reminded me of the importance of community, no matter where you are in the world.
I can imagine. Your story is very inspiring, Victor. It reminds me that every difficult moment is a chance to learn and grow.
Thank you, Samantha. I truly believe that every flight, every journey, teaches you something new. Even if things get tough, you gain valuable experience that makes you a better pilot and a better person.
I agree. And your journey from a young child fascinated by toy airplanes to an international airline pilot is a remarkable story. It must have required a lot of hard work and persistence.
Yes, it did. I had many challenges along the way, but my passion for flying kept me going. I also received a lot of support from my family and mentors. I couldn't have done it without them.
It's wonderful to have a supportive family. You mentioned earlier that your family moved when you were young because of the noise from the airport. How did that affect your decision to fly later on?
My move actually gave me mixed feelings. I miss the thrill of watching planes every day, but I also realized that I needed a quieter environment to study. Eventually, I understood that my passion for flying was stronger than the challenges, so I decided to pursue it regardless of the drawbacks.
That makes a lot of sense. It's important to follow your dreams, even if it means facing some obstacles along the way.
Exactly. And now, after all these years of training and working hard, I feel like every flight, even the difficult ones, has been a step toward achieving my goals. I'm now flying international routes, and I continue to challenge myself with new adventures.
Your story shows that with dedication and hard work, dreams really can come true. I'm sure many aspiring pilots look up to you and find inspiration in your experiences.
I hope so. I enjoy sharing my journey with young people who are interested in aviation. I believe that every person can achieve their dreams if they stay focused and work hard.
That's a wonderful message, Victor. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me today. It has been incredibly inspiring and informative.
You're welcome, Samantha. I'm glad I could share my experiences with you. I hope my story helps others to pursue their passions, no matter what challenges they may face.
It definitely will. Your journey has shown that perseverance, support from others, and a passion for what you do can lead to amazing achievements. I wish you many more safe and exciting flights.
Thank you, Samantha. And remember, every flight, every trip, and every challenge you face is a chance to grow. I wish you all the best in your own adventures.
Thank you, Victor. I'm sure your story will continue to inspire many. It's been a pleasure talking with you today.
Likewise, Samantha. I hope we can chat again soon. Have a great day.
You too, Victor. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Samantha.
Great job practicing with us today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next English conversation. See you in the next video. Keep practicing and stay confident.